Summary of poem Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold is a reflective and melancholic poem that delves into themes of faith, human suffering, and the search for meaning in an increasingly uncertain world. Through vivid imagery and emotional depth, Arnold explores the contrast between the serene beauty of the natural world and the inner turmoil of human existence. The poem opens with a tranquil scene of the sea at night, with the moonlight casting a serene glow over the straits and the cliffs of England. This calmness is juxtaposed with the grating roar of the pebbles being drawn and flung by the waves, symbolizing the persistent and inevitable sadness that underlies human life. This auditory imagery sets the tone for the poem, suggesting that beneath the surface tranquility, there is an ever-present note of melancholy. In the second stanza, Arnold draws a parallel between the present and the ancient past by referencing Sophocles, who heard the same melancholic sound by the Aegean Sea. This historical connection emphasizes the timeless nature of human suffering and the universal experience of misery. The waves' turbid ebb and flow symbolize the cyclical and relentless nature of human woes, suggesting that these struggles are an inherent part of the human condition. The third stanza introduces the metaphor of the sea of faith, which once provided comfort and certainty to humanity. This faith, described as a bright girdle, once enveloped the world, offering spiritual security and a sense of purpose. However, Arnold laments that this faith has now receded, leaving behind a melancholy, long, withdrawing roar. This retreat represents the decline of religious belief and the resulting loss of meaning and certainty in the modern world. In the final stanza, the speaker turns to a personal plea, urging his lover to remain true to one another. He acknowledges that the world, once perceived as beautiful and full of promise, now lacks joy, love, light, certainty, peace, and relief from pain. The concluding image of a darkling plain where ignorant armies clash by night captures the confusion, conflict, and existential disquiet of contemporary life. Overall, Dover Beach is a meditation on the erosion of faith and the resulting existential crisis. Arnold contrasts the enduring beauty of nature with the transient and troubled nature of human experience. In a world bereft of spiritual certainty, the poem suggests that personal fidelity and love are the only sources of solace and stability amidst the chaos. Arnold's poignant imagery and reflective tone convey a profound sense of loss and a longing for meaning in a disenchanted world. Line-by-line explanation of the poem Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. First stanza. Lines 1 to 2. These lines establish a peaceful and serene image of the sea under the night sky. The calmness of the sea and the fullness of the tide create a sense of completeness and tranquility. The moon lies fair suggests a clear and bright night, with the moon casting its light beautifully over the scene. Lines 3 to 5. Here, Arnold broadens the scene to include the straits, the French coast, and the English cliffs. The light on the French coast gleams and is gone, hinting at the fleeting nature of light and perhaps foreshadowing the transience of faith and certainty. The English cliffs are described as glimmering and vast, emphasizing their majestic and imposing presence in the tranquil bay. Line 6. The speaker invites his companion to share the experience, highlighting the pleasantness of the night air. This line adds a personal and intimate touch, drawing the reader into the scene. Lines 7 to 8. The focus shifts to the meeting point between the sea and the land, described as moon-blanched, indicating that the moonlight has turned the land pale. The long line of spray suggests the continuous movement and activity at this boundary. Lines 9 to 11. The calmness is interrupted by the grating roar of pebbles being moved by the waves. This auditory imagery contrasts with the visual tranquility, introducing a sense of disruption. The waves draw back the pebbles and fling them up the high strand in a repetitive cycle. Lines 12 to 14. The cyclical movement of the waves and pebbles, described as a tremulous cadence slow, creates a rhythmic pattern. This rhythm, coupled with the eternal note of sadness, suggests an underlying melancholy that pervades the scene. The repetition of begin and cease, and then again begin emphasizes the relentless and continuous nature of this sadness. Second stanza. Lines 15 to 16. The reference to Sophocles connects the current experience to the ancient past. It suggests that even long ago, people recognized a profound and sorrowful quality in the sound of the waves. Lines 17 to 18. For Sophocles, the waves evoked thoughts of human suffering and its tumultuous nature. The turbid ebb and flow likens human misery to the restless, unclear movement of the sea. Lines 19 to 20. The speaker notes that, like Sophocles, they too find deep and sorrowful thoughts in the sound of the waves by the English Channel. This establishes a timeless and universal connection between human emotions and the natural world. Third stanza. Lines 21 to 22. The sea of faith is introduced as a metaphor for a time when religious belief was strong and all-encompassing. It suggests a period when faith provided comfort and certainty. Lines 23 to 24. Faith used to surround the world like a protective and shining belt, but now that sense of security and illumination is gone. This contrast underscores the loss of spiritual certainty. Lines 25 to 26. The retreat of faith is compared to a sad, lingering sound that fades away. The withdrawing roar signifies the gradual decline of religious belief and the sorrow it leaves behind. Lines 27 to 28. As faith recedes, it leaves the world exposed and desolate, much like the barren, rocky edges of a coastline. The imagery of naked shingles and vast edges drear conveys a sense of bleakness and emptiness. Fourth stanza. Lines 29 to 30. The speaker makes a personal appeal for fidelity and truth in their relationship, suggesting that mutual love and honesty are essential in a world that appears deceptive and unstable. Lines 31 to 32. The world seems like a dreamland, full of beauty and variety. This idyllic appearance, however, is contrasted with the underlying reality that the speaker will reveal. Lines 33 to 34. In truth, the world lacks joy, love, light, certainty, peace, and relief from suffering. The repetition of nor emphasizes the absence of these essential qualities, painting a bleak picture of human existence. Lines 35 to 36. Humanity is depicted as being on a dark, chaotic battlefield, filled with confusion and conflict. The darkling plain symbolizes a sense of existential uncertainty and turmoil. Line 37. The world is likened to a place where ignorant forces clash in the darkness, symbolizing senseless conflict and confusion. This final image reinforces the poem's themes of uncertainty and the futile nature of human struggles without faith or certainty. Structure of the poem. Is a lyric poem with a structured and reflective composition. It consists of 4 irregular stanzas, each contributing to the development of the poem's themes and mood. Here's a breakdown of its structure. Form and meter. The poem is written in blank verse, which means it is unrhymed but follows a metrical pattern, specifically iambic pentameter. This gives it a natural flow and a conversational tone. The stanza lengths and line lengths vary, contributing to the poem's reflective and meditative quality. Stanza breakdown. First stanza sets the scene with a serene and tranquil depiction of the sea, introducing a sense of calm and peace. Second stanza introduces the historical perspective of Sophocles and connects the timeless quality of the sea's sound to human suffering and melancholy. Third stanza uses the metaphor of the sea of faith to reflect on the decline of religious and spiritual certainty, contrasting past and present states. Fourth stanza makes a personal appeal for fidelity and truth in the face of a world perceived as bleak and deceptive, ultimately reflecting on the chaos and confusion of human existence. Themes of the poem. The fleeting nature of human experience. The poem begins with an image of tranquility that soon shifts to a reflection on the transience of light and the eternal sadness it brings. This highlights the ephemeral nature of human experiences and certainties. Loss of faith and certainty. The metaphor of the sea of faith represents a time when religious faith was robust and all-encompassing. The retreat of this faith symbolizes a loss of spiritual and existential certainty in the modern world. Human suffering and melancholy. The sound of the waves and the historical reference to Sophocles connect the poem to a broader human experience of suffering and melancholy. This underscores the idea that despite outward calm, deeper emotional currents persist. The contrast between illusion and reality. The world appears beautiful and dreamlike but is ultimately revealed to be devoid of true joy, love, or peace. This contrast between appearance and reality emphasizes the disillusionment with the modern world. The chaos and confusion of modern life. The final stanza presents a vision of the world as a darkling plain where ignorant armies clash by night. This imagery reflects the confusion, conflict, and lack of direction in contemporary life. Overall, Dover Beach explores themes of disillusionment, the decline of spiritual belief, and the ongoing struggle to find meaning and stability in a changing world.
About the poet. Matthew Arnold was born on December 24, 1822, in Laleham, England. A prominent Victorian poet and critic, Arnold is best known for his contributions to English literature and his role in the cultural and intellectual life of his time. Educated at Rugby School and Balliol College, Oxford, he initially pursued a career in teaching and later became an inspector of schools. Arnold's poetry, including works like Dover Beach and The Scholar Gypsy, reflects his deep concerns about the erosion of faith and the challenges of modernity. His essays and critical writings, such as Culture and Anarchy, explore the role of culture in shaping society and advocate for a balanced approach to life. Arnold's work is celebrated for its lyrical quality, intellectual depth, and exploration of social and philosophical themes, making him a significant figure in 19th-century literature.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.